Under heavy rain and dark skies, Tokyo's Olympic Stadium became the stage for one of the most unforgettable performances in track and field history. The wet track reflected the stadium lights, turning every step into a risk and every stride into a test of control. Most athletes would have approached those conditions cautiously, focused only on surviving the race. But Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone did something entirely different. She delivered a performance that changed the conversation around the women's 400 meters forever. Crossing the finish line in 47.78 seconds, McLaughlin-Levrone recorded the second fastest women's 400-meter time ever run. Only Marita Koch's legendary 47.60 world record from 1985 remained ahead of her. For decades, that record had seemed almost impossible to challenge. Generations of Olympic champions and world-class athletes had tried to approach it, but none managed to come as close as McLaughlin-Levrone did on that rainy night in Tokyo. What made the performance even more remarkable was the path she took to reach it. For years, McLaughlin-Levrone dominated the 400-meter hurdles, an event where she completely changed the limits of what athletes believed possible. She repeatedly broke world records, combining speed, technique, and rhythm in ways the sport had never seen before. Yet many people still wondered whether her success over hurdles would translate perfectly into the flat 400 meters. Tokyo answered that question with authority. The field she faced was loaded with talent. Marita Koch entered the race as one of the favorites, carrying the reputation of being one of the strongest finishers in the world. Salwa Eid Nasser also brought world-class experience and speed. Every athlete on the start line believed they had a chance to win Olympic gold. But the weather created even more uncertainty. Rain changes sprinting completely. The track becomes slippery, acceleration becomes more difficult, and maintaining rhythm can suddenly become a major challenge. From the moment the gun fired, McLaughlin-Levrone looked calm and controlled. Her opening pace was aggressive without being reckless. Through the first 200 meters, she maintained perfect balance between speed and relaxation, something extremely difficult in the 400 meters. Many athletes go out too hard and suffer badly in the final stretch, but she looked smooth and composed the entire way. As the runners entered the final curve, Polino remained close enough to create suspense. For a moment, the race looked like it could become a dramatic battle to the finish. Then McLaughlin-Levrone produced another level of speed. Coming off the bend, she accelerated while the others began to tighten from fatigue. Her posture stayed upright, her stride remained fluid, and her cadence never broke apart. Instead of slowing down over the final meters like most 400-meter runners, she seemed to get stronger. Step by step, she pulled away from the field and crossed the line alone in one of the greatest performances the sport has ever witnessed. One of the biggest reasons behind her success is efficiency. McLaughlin-Levrone is not simply fast. She wastes almost no energy when she runs. Years of competing in the 400-meter hurdles taught her how to stay technically perfect, even under extreme pressure. Hurdles require athletes to maintain exact stride patterns while sprinting at near maximum speed. One mistake in rhythm can destroy an entire race. That background gave her an advantage few flat runners possess. Her biomechanics are incredibly refined. Her upper body stays relaxed, reducing wasted movement. Her stride length remains consistent, and her turnover stays controlled even when fatigue begins to build. In the 400 meters, the final 100 meters often become chaotic as athletes struggle against lactic acid and exhaustion. Arms tighten, form collapses, and stride patterns fall apart. McLaughlin-Levrone resists that breakdown better than almost anyone in history. Another major factor behind her rise has been her training under legendary coach Bob Kersee. The 400 meters is considered one of the hardest events in athletics because it combines sprint speed with endurance. Athletes must maintain near maximum effort for almost an entire lap around the track. Preparing for that challenge requires brutal conditioning and incredible mental strength. Kersey's training system helped transform McLaughlin-Levrone into an athlete capable of sustaining world record pace deep into races. Even before the Tokyo final, there were signs that history was coming. In the semifinal, she ran 48.29 seconds while appearing surprisingly relaxed after crossing the line. Observers immediately noticed how composed she looked. Her breathing remained controlled, and she showed almost none of the exhaustion normally associated with such a fast race. It became clear that she still had more to give. Mental strength has become one of the defining characteristics of her career. Championship racing is unpredictable. Pressure, weather conditions, and expectations can affect even the greatest athletes. Many struggle when circumstances become difficult. McLaughlin-Levrone seems to thrive in those moments. The rain in Tokyo did not disrupt her focus. Instead, it became part of the story that made the performance even more legendary. She has often spoken about the role faith plays in her life, explaining how it helps her remain calm under pressure. That sense of perspective allows her to compete with unusual composure. In races decided by fractions of a second, emotional control can become just as important as physical ability. McLaughlin-Levrone consistently looks centered, focused, and completely confident in the biggest moments. At just 26 years old, she may still be entering the prime years for a 400-meter runner. Unlike shorter sprints, the 400 meters often rewards maturity and experience. Athletes usually peak later because the event demands such a unique combination of speed, endurance, and tactical intelligence. That makes her 47.78 performance even more exciting because it may not represent her ultimate limit. Meanwhile, the rest of the field continues to improve as well. Paulino's 47.98 was an incredible performance that would have won most major championships in history. Salwa Eid Nasser's 48.19 confirmed her place among the elite. Yet both performances were overshadowed by McLaughlin-Levrone's brilliance. This is often what happens when a generational athlete emerges. One athlete changes the standard, forcing everyone else to chase a new level of greatness. Another fascinating possibility involves Femke Bol, McLaughlin-Levrone's biggest rival in the 400-meter hurdles. If Bol chooses to focus more heavily on the flat 400 meters in the future, the sport could witness one of the greatest rivalries in modern athletics. Both athletes possess extraordinary versatility, speed, and competitive mentality. Still, the biggest question remains the world record. Marita Koch's 47.60 has survived for 40 years, but McLaughlin-Levrone now stands only 0.18 seconds away. In the 400 meters, that gap is incredibly small, barely more than a single stride. Under perfect conditions, with strong competition and ideal pacing, the impossible suddenly feels realistic. The 2028 Summer Olympics could become the perfect stage for history. Competing on home soil with the entire world watching would create an unforgettable atmosphere. Olympic history is built on moments where legendary athletes rise under pressure, and McLaughlin-Levrone seems made for those moments. Of course, sports are unpredictable. Injuries, new rivals, and unexpected challenges can always change the future. But regardless of what happens next, one thing is already certain. The women's 400 meters has entered a completely new era, and at the center of that era stands Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. With every race, every record, and every breathtaking performance, she continues to redefine what greatness in track and field truly means.